Ask any of our parents, and they'll probably say there is something miraculous about us. And they'd be absolutely right. Making us who we are is something of a miracle. But the story of how we're made is no easy matter. Imagine these triathletes are sperm. In theory, all they have to do is reach the egg. But it'll be an epic journey. When the gun starts the race to fertilize the female egg, 400 million sperm are released. They've been created inside a myriad of loops and coils inside the man's genitals. And that means they have a lot further to travel than you'd think.
I don't know. I think a sperm has to swim probably just a matter of a few inches, no?
15 feet? I don't know.
6 inches?
Yeah,
I don't know.
6 inches.
3 inches. No, 2.
It has to travel from the guy, too, though.
That's true.
Maybe we should go for 12.
Creating 400 million sperm requires a staggering 547 yards of tubing in the male testes. So just getting out of the male body means the sperm have to travel a full 24 feet to reach the egg. That's more than 4 times the height of the average man. And remember, the poor old sperm is just 2/1000ths of an inch long, and the liquid they have to navigate through is anything but easy. In fact, the journey of a sperm to the egg would be the human equivalent of a person swimming 167 miles, the width of Lake Superior, but through water as thick as molasses. It's no surprise that by the time the sperm reach the egg, there are only a few hundred still going. Along the way, countless others have died or made a wrong turn. In fact, it's mind-boggling that any make it at all. Fortunately, 1 sperm is all it takes. It's a critical moment in your development. It can take many attempts to achieve pregnancy, and if any other sperm had fertilized the egg, then it almost certainly would have resulted in a different you. 36 hours after fertilization, the egg starts dividing. And after just 2 weeks, tens of thousands of new cells have been created, each one performing an incredibly specific and vital role in the development of the baby.
Not only do the cells have to divide, and divide accurately and divide at the right time, but they also have to migrate and move to the right areas so that one bit can form the actual baby, another bit can form the placenta, which is important in feeding the baby, and other bits can form the surroundings to the baby and the placenta.
By just over 3 weeks, our brain and spinal cord have started to develop, and our heart has started to beat. But we're still talking about a life that's incredibly small. And to show you just how small, we've created this scale model of a 4-week-old embryo out of dozens of seeds. But to match its actual size, we'd only need 1. Because at 4 weeks old, our embryo is no bigger than this tiny apple seed. Assuming our development progresses well, then over the next few weeks, all of our other organs and features will be formed. During this period, our limbs take shape. And as we pass 8 weeks old, all of the organs that make us human are in place.
It's amazing that it happens so accurately and that babies are formed so perfectly by 8 weeks. Obviously, for the rest of the pregnancy, there is an important function in terms of all the organs maturing, all the organs functioning properly so that the baby can make that transition from inside the womb to outside easily and properly.
It's incredible to think our organs are not only in place, but in many cases, they're already functioning. Within a few weeks, our kidneys will start filtering out waste products. And that means from about 14 weeks old, we're urinating inside our mother's womb, which probably comes as a big surprise to many of us.
Wow. Wow. I would say wow. Wow. That's cool.
I would say that's false. Can't happen.
I'd just say that's gross. I don't know.
That's weird, I guess. I would think that was gross and funny. Is that true?
I'm afraid so. And here's another question. Where do you suppose all that urine goes?
Hopefully it's like excreted somehow, right? Because if it's not, it's just staying in there, right?
I guess goes the mother, whoa, let's see.
It gets fed back out into the mother's bloodstream, and I don't know.
Probably doesn't go anywhere. It probably just stays right there.
Somewhere in the fluid there.
Like all babies, the one in this woman's womb is surrounded by amniotic fluid. It protects and nourishes the fetus. And it's into this liquid that the baby's urine passes. But before you cringe at the thought of our beautiful new life floating in a sea of urine, relax. Our mother's body is constantly renewing the amniotic fluid, replacing it with a clean supply every 3 hours. In fact, if you laid it all out in glasses, it would look like this. In all, the average pregnant mother will produce 1,794 pints of clean amniotic fluid during a pregnancy. Processing all that liquid is one of the reasons pregnant women need to drink more. So if a prospective mother asks you for a drink of water, by all means, make it a large one. The initial development of our fetus is amazing and goes largely unseen.
The baby's heart rate is...
It's only at 13 weeks that our mom and dad will get their first chance to see the life they've created.
You see the beginnings of legs there, and the beginning of an arm coming up there.
And this is where things get really interesting. It's usually about 13 weeks before our parents get their first chance to see us developing inside the womb.
He seems to be moving more now and started laughing.
And almost all of them are amazed to see our heart pounding away. Yet it has already been beating for 9.5 weeks. And by now it will already have beaten 11 million times. This amazing organ will run non-stop for the rest of our life.
Although it looks alarming sometimes when you see it beating that fast, that is perfectly normal.
It's hard to find a pump that is more impressive in terms of what it can do for how long it can do it as the heart. It's unbelievable that it's all assembled and works as well as it does, and it's got an extremely finely tuned mechanism that sort of wrings the blood out of the chamber and generates pressure and pumps blood at an extraordinary rate.
Our heart's achievements are even more impressive when we consider the size of the job it has to do. This person is being examined using a slicing CT scanner, the latest in high-tech diagnostic tools. It produces an unparalleled view of the body's internals. And looking at our blood vessels, it's pretty clear our heart has to pump blood around a phenomenally complicated system. But just how many miles of blood vessel are there in your body?
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't have this, not a clue, 30.
I wonder how many times around would be 1 mile.
I'm totally taking a guess, like 6. I have no idea.
10, 15.